So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome back. I believe I'm going to title this The Fine Line, but again, probably might be a good mixture of The Fine Line and Believable Faith Ministries. But, yeah, checkpoint. Like I said before, I got a lot of more topics of The Fine Line to discuss with y'all, a heck of a lot more. Especially knowing how much news over the last, like I say, I'm like when it comes to politics, I'm not saying I pay the best attention to all politics, but I can definitely assure you I pay enough attention. Just like with the Bible, I know enough of the Bible to call a lot of people out on their hypocrisy, double standards, sin, and etc. Not to say that I am not a sinner, not to say that, we're not all sinners here, but most definitely, again, the evidence is 2 plus 2 of what you're doing right from wrong. And especially if you're not willing to admit it, we have a problem. When, again, if we were to videotape you and play it back for you, the evidence shows. Wow. Yeah. But like I said, we have a lot of people that are in huge denial. And just like like I said, not saying I watch Christian truthers on YouTube every single day, because I don't. But quite often I do. There's a lot of people who, again, whether it is within the church or whether it is at your own home doing Bible scriptures or whoever, wherever you're at, whomever and wherever you're at. There's a lot of people who cherry pick verses. Most definitely. And I really want everybody to realize that there's a lot of people that cherry pick verses. And so like I said before, so then when I want to call them out on their hypocrisy and double standards. That's why when you bring up your vast knowledge compared to their vast knowledge, they use their scripture to again stay in their hypocrisy, stay in their sin, and etc. And I'm saying that definitely runs within a lot of parts of society. A lot of people, I think a lot of people know enough about the Bible, but again, a lot of people cherry pick verses to keep themselves in their sin. Because there's just a lot of people that, and God bless baptism, because like I said before, I got baptized, born again Christian, you know what's up. But there's a lot of people who, like I said before, if you were to, like I said, dive into it, there's a lot of people that, are just not qualified, and a lot of people who, like I said before, it's just quite amazing. It's quite amazing. And, 2 minutes into this, like I said, I again definitely wish everybody the absolute God's get best on Jesus Christ's salvation, their walk with Jesus Christ's salvation. And it's definitely, like I said before, even I think I've said that same phrase like 3-4 times since I started this video. Yeah, like I said, got a lot more topics on the Fine Line to discuss, Unbelievable Faith Ministries to discuss. Again, I'm yet to actually dissect some scriptures on Believable Faith Ministries. I'm mainly just been giving you my intake on what I definitely see within society that translates to biblical stuff, But I can definitely assure you that one of these days, if not very, very, very soon, I'm gonna definitely get to some of that, because again, I know exactly what I'm talking about. And the evidence again, 2 plus 2 right there. It just depends on what you're gonna deny versus what you're gonna accept it, and how you're gonna learn, build, and grow with it towards your better tomorrow and towards everybody's better tomorrow. Because, again, I guess one of the top things to definitely focus on in this video is I stand up for the further advancement of all people. And most definitely, I totally believe in all lives matter. And, again, you really need to use, again, a lot of discernment on a lot of things that you read on the internet. And not only you read on the internet, but yet you buy into based upon trends. You really need to, a lot of us don't use discernment whatsoever when it comes to a lot of these things. We don't, and again, that definitely lands us where it lands us, honestly, and again, God bless everybody on truly reaching true Jesus Christ salvation discernment, because I'm telling you, the evidence is right there, and that's one of the top reasons why I say a lot of people are in the devil's matrix and don't even realize it, because they're just not awake. They're awake to, and I hate to say it, they're awake to what the devil wants them to be awake to, of which, like I say, continuously creates this, this race war that we're in today. I'm telling you, for example, the best way to break that down, I guess, would say, if you took a, I'm gonna say scale basis, if you took a survey to see how many people actually stand up for something like what I said at the beginning of this video, or somewhere within the first 2-3 minutes, when it comes to the further advancement of all people, if you were to ask, if you, again, not to say everybody, and that right there is really just common sense. It's not fully something that I just randomly made up. It's definitely something that is a lot of common sense, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the further advancement of all people. You have to, I know what I'm trying to say, but trying to get out the best way I can. My big point is that if you take a survey or go around asking random people about the further, do you stand up for the further advancement of all people? I'm not saying that some people won't look at you completely crazy and be like, what is that? Again, it really is, it's pretty much in its name, by the way. It's pretty much in its name. And then number two, I'm willing to bet you a lot of people, when it comes to the further advancement of all people, that's just not what they subscribe to. Or if they subscribe to it, it's in a certain way. It's not in a full activist type way. Which is one of the top things I'm telling you we really need to, you got a lot of people who would they would just subscribe to it just to say they subscribe to it, but like I said before, their actions don't prove anything other than they're just going about their happy merry day as if everything's just all dandy because they're living in their own world, And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're living illusions. They're living in a lie, man. I'm telling you, the evidence proves it, man. The evidence proves it. That a lot of people are literally spiritually asleep. There's on the surface. There is a race war on the surface, ladies and gentlemen. But in the spirit realm, there is a spiritual war going on. It has actually, again, been going on for practically, I guess you could say, since the beginning of time. But again, look at where we are in today's day and age. On the surface and spiritually. But think about it. How many people are completely blind to both? And I can assure you, at least the reason why I believe they're blind to both, they are living a lie. And or they're living an illusion, and they're living just off in their own world with everything. I'm telling you, there's not enough people out there awake in any type of way. In any type of way. There's not enough people that are awake in any type of way. But most definitely to everybody that subscribes to me, just to let you know, in any type of way you subscribe to me, whether you just listen or just to listen, I stand up for the further advancement of all people, and I definitely hope that you guys understand the spiritual parts of that. It pretty much, again, all leads you to Jesus Christ. It literally does, Just like I said with my initiative titled Believing Your Dreams and etc. It all at the end of the day is leading you towards Christ. Because it's pretty much, again, because I guess you could say the biblical representative of a phrase like the further advancement of all people, the biblical phrase that definitely alludes to that ties into it is love thy neighbor as thyself. That's the biblical phrase that alludes to the further advancement of all people, at least if you were to ask me. Again, use your own discernment on it, and you make your own decisions. But I'm definitely going to assure you, again, ladies and gentlemen, on the surface, it's a race war. In the spirit realm, versus heaven versus hell, it's a spiritual warfare. And I do believe a lot of people are dead asleep to it. They are dead asleep. And again, ladies and gentlemen, that's a global problem. That's a global epidemic. That's why I tell you, when I told you the last 2 or 3 videos, whenever I post those, because right now this is one after the next, that's why I'm telling you. I don't take any pride in saying it, but the evidence backs me up when I say it. If a lot of people, if they were to die today, die tonight, they're not going to heaven. They're not going to heaven. I'm sorry, but the evidence backs me up on that. But again, use your own discernment with it, whether you want to believe that or not. Again, keep praying for everybody. Keep praying for yourself, and keep trying to help your family and your community and church and etc. live up. Because again, it's an epidemic going on. It's a war going on, and I do believe a lot of people are darn straight spiritually blind to it, or they're blind to it in all which ways. They're blind to it on the surface, and they're blind to it in the spirit. They're blind to it. Or better yet, because I do believe that I do believe that is true. A lot of people are blind to it both ways, but I also believe a lot of people are blind to it more spiritually than they are on the surface. I'm telling you, at least from my discernment tells me that, again, it's a race war on the surface. It's a race war outside, but most definitely in the spirit, in the spirit realm is there's many ways to break this down. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to randomly break it down for you. I think a lot of people are asleep to both. They're asleep to both the spirit part about it, the spiritual part about it, and the on the surface part. I think a lot of people are spiritually are blind to both. But on the surface, the one that truly matters is obviously the heaven versus hell. That's the spiritual one. That's obviously the one that matters. But the one on the surface is just there to literally not only divide you negatively, but it's also there to what's it called? I want to say drag your attention. Yeah, drag your attention. It's there to as well blind you. And again, a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people don't realize that, ladies and gentlemen. Like, literally, look at it. A lot of people don't realize it. And a lot of this discernment, I'm telling you, it's 2 plus 2. It's not rocket science. But I'm telling you, a lot of people, they're going to believe it's rocket science. And that's how you can tell, if you were to ask me, that's how you can tell who's spiritually saved and aware. Because I'm telling you, I know way too many people who they're not truly, who even if they're looking at the spiritual side of it, they're not, even if they pay attention to spirituals, they're not paying attention to it in the right way. They're not. They're still being, again, negatively biased to it. And stuff like that. One of my biggest things about spirituality, I can definitely tell you, my discernment has told me over the years, Nate, there is chosen people of every nationality and race. Every nationality and race, there is chosen people to continue to try to buy in to, it's just white's the predominant, or it's just black's predominant, and etc. Each one has its gifts, its callings, its etc. from the Most High. But to keep on trying to push that negative, that negative, negative narrative. Okay, yeah. To keep pushing that negative narrative that is just one predominant when it comes to, I'm telling you, that's a huge deception, and too many people have bought into it. Too many people have bought into it. Too many people. And that's one of the top reasons why, again, I say that if you literally use not only discernment, but if you just discernment, true Jesus Christ salvation discernment, I'm pretty sure the Lord will totally, show you all of this stuff, because it's literally right there in your face. It's right there really from every single angle, and a lot of it is right there in your own home, and stuff like that. I'm telling you, if you at least the way, and this was from what my discernment tells me, if you truly accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, and you truly believe in the phrase of love thy neighbor as thyself, you are not going to buy into that garbage. That is again, that on the surface, it's just black and white. It's the predominant. It's got to be one of those two. You're not going to buy into that. You're not going to buy into that. But again, use your own discernment on it, and may the Lord be with you in your walk. Because again, we've been in dark times. We've been in a race war for quite some time. Decades really. And I'm definitely going to tell you one of the things that my discernment tells me. Christ wants us to most definitely, not only does he want us to truly love thy neighbor as thyself, but he really wants us to start having conversations about why in the world we have all this garbage and tension and etc. going on each and every day. And I'm telling you, it does all boil down to these people are not spiritually saved and aware. Because if you were, you would totally know the art of love thy neighbor as thyself, and it would reflect in your life, and your life would be filled with more blessings than ever before. God bless. More comes soon. Peace.